Welcome to another episode of Two Old Geeks Talking. Now on the World Wide Web.
Hey, welcome back to Two Old Geeks Talking. I'm Rob.
And I'm Trace.
And today we're discussing
Fan films. Fan films. Okay. What's a fan film, brother?
A fan film is a film that's made by a fan.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes, a fan film is a film made by somebody other than the IP holder. So they're very, very popular. They range in quality. You know, some are really, really bad and some are really, really good. They range in length. Some are just a few minutes long. Some may be an hour long or more. And are fan films legal?
You know, I've wondered about that. I mean, because everything has a trademark, everything has a licensing.
Yeah.
So, like, I've watched some and they don't blatantly come out and say, hey, I'm Star Wars, but some of them do. So I'm I don't know.
Well, the answer is no, they're all illegal. All fan films are illegal. A lawyer would say it's a derivative work. So anybody that makes a fan film,
but if they're not making profit,
could be liable. So the reason you have fan films out there is because people that have the IP, they just turn a blind eye to it. They just turn a blind eye. Some people celebrate their fan films, like Lucasfilm pre-Disney would actually have fan film awards every year.
Nice.
And so they would actually give monetary rewards to people who made fan films about Star Wars. And so they actually celebrated that. And so what that did was it was free advertisement for Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
And so that worked out good for them. And it kept the fan base excited and kept new and fresh material for them. And then you got people like Paramount, who they are like, yes, you can make one, but it can't have anybody from any cast member from a previous Star Trek show. If you have any kind of merchandise in the show, it has to be official merchandise, not something that bootleg that you bought. And it can't be longer than 20 minutes. And if it's a multi-episode, it can't be more than 2 episodes. So they tack on lots of restrictions for the fan films. And then you got people like Fox who would just send you a cease and desist order. Like there was some fans making a James Bond fan film. They got a cease and desist order. If you continue with this, you will be liable and we will sue you.
Huh.
And so, but the fact is fan films are all illegal, but for the most part, people turn a blind eye to them. As long as you don't make profit.
Okay.
As long as there's nothing racist or sexist or, anything that would damage the IP, they typically just don't pay attention to it. And so you have fan films and then you have fan series, and that's where you have multiple episodes. We're going to talk about some of my favorite fan films, some that you've seen that you like,
right.
And we're going to talk about some of my favorite fan series. And now, one pet peeve I have is a fan-made trailer, and they're very popular.
Oh.
They're very popular on YouTube, and that's where you see all your fan films.
I dislike them because sometimes they're done so well, you don't know. Like there was not too long ago, there was like a new Back to the Future fan film trailer.
Yeah.
And it was done so well, I was like, holy crap, is this real? So I really had to deep dive to find out that it was not.
Right. And that's the thing. And Teresa all the time, she's like, hey, have you heard this new movie coming out? And I'm like, It's not coming out. And she's like, yeah, it is. Here's the trailer. And I'm like, yeah, that's a fan-made trailer. And the thing is, I don't have a problem with a fan-made trailer as long as you say Blade Runner fan-made trailer.
Right.
But what they do is to get views, they just say Blade Runner trailer 2026 or something like that. And so what happens is you see it and you're like, oh, they're making a new Blade Runner, and so you end up watching it, and then about a minute into it, you're like, wait a minute, that's a scene from such and such.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, that's not right. And so it's false advertising. So shame on you. And so I don't fall for it very often, but a lot of people do. So let's talk about fan films, how they're made. For the most part, They're made by like lots of times people that are in school to learn how to make films.
Right.
They're into cinematography. What they'll do is for homework, they will actually make a fan film.
Right.
You know, and turn it in for homework.
I've wondered sometimes. I mean, they look so good. They have so much. You could tell there was so much time, money, and equipment used for some of these things. I'm like, it's like everybody in California just whipping out fan films left and right.
Or you just get people that are into, like, you got this group over here that's into prop making, this group over here that's into local theater, this group over here that's into special effects, and they're all amateurs, and they get together and they make a film, and they get enjoyment out of that, and we as fans get enjoyment out of it.
Could they use that as almost a resume as well, though?
Oh, absolutely. And there's been some people that, I mean, you take Lucasfilm that had the Fan Film Awards. I mean, they could look, and if they saw skill there, either in the special effects department or the acting department or in the writing department, they could have plucked those guys and pulled them into their company. So yeah, it could end up being a resume type thing. So the first fan film we're going to talk about is Judg MTI. It come out in 2013. It's 27 minutes long. And if you're a fan of Judge Dredd, you must watch Judg MTI. And what Judg MTI started out as, it was a short story and one comic. Didn't even take up one issue.
Okay.
And so it's about an older judge, Judge William Minty, who he's starting to slow down. His reflexes aren't as quick as he used to be. And so he's got a couple of different choices. He can either quit being a judge, which is like a policeman in a post-apocalyptic society, if you're familiar with Judge Dredd. He can either teach at the academy, or he can leave the city outside the protection of the walls and go out into the cursed earth and try to bring law to the lawless. And so that's what he decides to do. And that's where the comic ended. So he walked out the doors shut. That was the decision he made. And that was the retirement program for judges. Well, it just so happened they picked up this fan film, and they did a fantastic job with it. I mean, the sets and everything. And
see, my thing is okay. So I've watched it too.
Yes.
Don't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
I watched it too. The sets were great. Everything was a little too clean to be post-apocalyptic. Even the police uniforms. I mean, I know that they were police, but I mean, they're in a grungy world.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was a little clean. And one thing I have to say is fan films don't always use professional actors.
Yes.
I don't know who this gentleman was that played Judge MTI, but I could not. I'm not a Judge Dredd fan. I didn't care for the comic books.
I am.
So this actor didn't do anything to help it. I don't know who the gentleman was.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I was like,
I thought it was great. I loved it. I liked the fact they took a little short story and expanded on it, and I'm a huge fan of that. I've watched it probably a half a dozen times and probably will watch it again. So my next fan film is Dirty Laundry. Now, Dirty Laundry is based on a Marvel Comics character called the Punisher. And Thomas Jane played the Punisher in 2004. So after that, everybody was clamoring for a sequel.
Right.
Because that was a fantastic movie, in my opinion. Did you like the Thomas Jane 2004 Punisher?
It was all right.
It was all right?
Yeah.
And so he actually reprised the role as Punisher in a fan film. And he got one of his buddies, an actor, Ron Perlman, and everybody knows Ron Perlman from
I was surprised to see him.
Sons of Anarchy and Beauty and the Beast and Hellboy, and so I got him to be in it as well. And it's real short, and it's Frank Castle, that's the Punisher. It's like he tries to get his laundry done one day inside the city, and he gets pulled into some conflict. And so it was just really well done, and it was showed at a lot of the Comic-Con. San Diego, I think, was the first Comic-Con it showed at. It was super popular, and I just really liked that. I really liked that movie, and I wanted a sequel and never got it. But what that fan film did was it allowed me to get a little bit more Thomas Jane as the Punisher.
It was good. I really did enjoy it.
And I think that Thomas doing that, doing it for free when he's an actor, number one, thumbs up to Thomas. But
Right.
also, I think he did that a little bit because there was a chance that
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
would see that and it would get popular, get lots of views on YouTube, and so somebody would pick it up and make another sequel.
So do you think that was the purpose of it? I'm like, why?
I think that it wasn't his idea to make it, but he was asked, and he cleared his schedule, made room for it, and I think that was a wise decision on his part. You know, it could have pressured the studio into making another one if there had been lots of views, but it just didn't work out.
I mean, the reason I keep asking is the reason for it is because it was done so well. It had two well-known actors in it.
Yeah.
Even the people that wasn't well-known were good actors.
Yes.
Cameras work. I mean, of course, you didn't have to have a whole lot of crazy props or anything built. But it's not like you and me going out in the woods with toy lightsabers.
No, it was professional.
It was professional done.
Right.
So when I see something to that, I mean, you got hardcore friends that got a hard on for an IP. They go make something. Okay.
Yes.
But something like that, I'm always questioning what was the purpose? Was that to try to kickstart a
Yes, I think it was.
second one?
I was trying to kickstart a sequel because I think he enjoyed playing the Punisher, and I think he wanted to continue to do so. So my next fan film is The Hunt for Gollum, and so it's 39 minutes long. It was come out in 2009, and it was made over in Britain. And what somebody did was if you look in the back of the Lord of the Rings, there's a bunch of appendices, and so Tolkien's Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, it goes on forever.
Yeah, it goes on. So somebody took a little clip of that where before the Lord of the Rings happened, they were hunting for Gollum. Remember in Lord of the Rings where Gollum had been captured and they were worried about he was going to reveal something about Bilbo and the Shire, which he ended up doing. He was captured by the Nazgul. Before that, Aragorn, Strider, had actually been hunting under the command of Gandalf, had been hunting for Gollum. Gollum was slipping through the woods, slipping in windows and eating babies and making his way across the land, and so they wanted to catch this guy and make sure that he
was he really eating babies?
Yeah, it was actually in the appendices. So it was well done. It was really good. I really loved the costumes. It was cool because when the filming was over, they sold the costumes that they had made.
Really?
And but a lot of time was put in it, and of course, Tolkien's British, and he has a huge following over in Britain.
Right.
So it was neat to see those British fans make that. If you hadn't seen The Hunt for Gollum, watch it. And here's something funny. New Line Cinema has decided they're going to make another Lord of the Rings movie.
Oh, okay.
And you know what they're going to call it?
The Hunt for Gollum?
The Hunt for Gollum.
Ah.
So I'm thinking this Hunt for Gollum that's on YouTube now is going to disappear. Because as they start promotion for their movie, Hunt for Gollum, they're not going to want another fan-made movie out there called The Hunt for Gollum. So I got a feeling it's going to be removed from YouTube.
I mean, as a fan film, you couldn't patent that. You couldn't really.
No. So they're not going to want any kind of confusion. So
Right.
so they're going to this fan film, which is fantastic, will disappear.
Okay, so
in my opinion.
As a fan of the Lord of the Rings, I enjoyed it. They did great. Costumes great. The guy that played Aragorn, he was good. The guy that played Gandalf, he ain't no Surrey and
No.
And so I like the fact that they kept Gollum kind of out of sight.
Yes, I like that too.
Right.
And that saved money too.
That saved money because at the end there was some jackass, crappy CG.
Well, I mean, it's amateur.
I was like,
It's
I know
amateur.
it's amateur, but I mean, hell, you break out horses, you break out prosthetics to do goblins, you do all this work.
So you're upset that their fan film wasn't professional enough?
Not professional enough, but I mean, they chucked some time and money into it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, quite a bit of time for just
I guess when
that
I'm watching,
little bit of glimpse of Gollum, and it's like,
I guess when I'm watching a fan film, I just kind of separate. I realize, okay, this is a fan film. I don't expect it to be the same quality as a $1 million studio.
no, I agree.
So the next one is Darth Maul, 17 minutes long, come out
Right.
in 2016. Darth Maul, the Apprentice, I think is what it's called. So I love the character Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace. And of course, that's as far as he went for a long time. George Lucas eventually brought him back in Clone Wars.
Right.
But this is like a prequel of Darth Maul when he was still training underneath the Emperor. And so it's a German fan film. And so they're fans of Star Wars over in Germany, and it was done. It was done so well, and the guy that played Darth Maul did good. But what was great was, I love the fight scenes in the Phantom Menace. Nick Gillard did a fantastic job in all the prequels. You can criticize the prequels wherever you want, but those fight scenes were amazing, and make the fight scenes in the original trilogy and even the Disney fight scenes seem amateur, at best. So I really like that. So you got Darth Maul, and he ends up going head to head with some Jedi. Lots of good action and lots of good story, and you kind of get a glimpse into his character and how he thinks. Is he totally bad? Is he totally good? The Emperor's there kind of manipulating him through the whole thing, and it was done really, really well. And to be honest with you, a lot of the Star Wars fan films I enjoy better than the stuff that Disney's putting out.
Well, I mean, okay, well, I agree with that because Disney has just kind of been over a lot of their IPs.
Right. A lot of them are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it was good. I watched it last night, and okay, I feel like I'm poo-pooing on these things, but
Yeah, it does seem that way.
but I kind of, if you're going to do something, stick with it and stick true to the matter at hand, because one, I kind of turned ahead when the youngest Padawan, the female Padawan, was showing a lot of fear and concern because they're not supposed to have attachments. They're not supposed to show their emotions. So to see her act the way she did, but I'm like, okay, she's young. She's Padawan. She's learning. We'll get up at it. But to see Darth Maul at the end, when she's the last one, of course, he took out all the hard competition first.
Yeah.
And she's the last one for him to slightly hesitate. Now, of course, he doesn't, but nah, a real Sith would have done it as quick as I cut.
To me, the way I look at it, was Darth Maul. It was Darth Maul Apprentice. So he was on training to be as evil as he ended up being. So he was on his way to being totally evil. Maybe at this time he's only 76.3% evil.
I know 8-year-olds would have cut that girl's throat quicker than he did.
But anyway, so the next one, 1997, was the first time I saw a fan film, and it was called Troops. It was very, very short. It was 9 minutes long, but it was so memorable, and it really kicked off, I think, it was the grandfather of all fan films. It was a parody in between the stormtroopers from Star Wars, and the TV show Cops.
Yeah.
So bad boys, what are we going to do? So it was really funny. You had Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru in it, and so it was done so well, and it was comedic, and I just really liked that.
And as a parody, you could get away with doing stupid shit. Nobody's going to sit there and tweak you and say, well, they would have done that with it, because it's a parody. It's supposed to be stupid. It's not supposed to be 100%. I've always enjoyed it.
So you enjoyed it. You liked that. Oh, you liked that one?
Yeah, I did like that one.
Oh, man. Okay, all right. Well, Guys and Troops, you win. So as far as the next one goes, Batman Dead End. Now, you were such a fan of that, I got it for you on DVD, right?
Yeah, before it was on YouTube, before there was freaking videos on the internet. I've had that. Well, I've had it for a long time.
Yeah, and so the Batman Dead End. You want to talk about it?
Sure.
It was 8 minutes long. Come out in 2003.
Yeah, for 8 minutes, it's so freaking action packed. First of all, the cinematography, awesome. The costuming. Yeah. Okay, so the premise is Batman's gearing up for the night. You can hear all the police scanners and that newscast in the background.
Plus, he looked very tough, like Dark Knight Batman.
Yeah, it was old school Batman. It
Yeah.
wasn't nothing of the new modern leather stuff. It was
Yeah.
literally I'm pulling over a shirt with a bat on it. But they done it so well, and to hear some of the music that was orchestrated for the cartoon movie Mask of the Phantasm, that dun 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 dun, that was pretty cool. And but basically, he runs into one of the aliens from the franchise Aliens.
Yes.
And it jumps him. Oh, the Joker. You
Yeah.
know the Joker is played by the guy that played, what was his name? Boner in Family Ties.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
He made a great joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got him to play the Joker. Oh, that was right up there with Mark Hamill's performance as the Joker.
Yeah, he was good.
He was good.
Yeah, he was good.
Especially when he said,
The guy that played Batman, I
when
thought
he
he was
says,
good.
"You made me, Daddy."
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, then Batman's actually saved by a predator from the alien. He starts fighting them. Hardly believe that the predator actually lost to Batman. But then all of a sudden, a bunch of other predators shows up, and that's where it cuts. As Batman
Yes.
getting ready to stand.
And like you said, even though it's short, it's so
it's short, it's quick. Probably
so
about as long as
action-packed.
I explained it is how long it lasts.
So
Yeah,
then,
that was good. That was a good one.
so that's two you like. Troops
that's
and
two.
Batman Dead End. CAD Bane. That's the next one we're going to talk about. Come out in 2018. It is come out in 2022. It's 18 minutes long. And CAD Bane is a character that was introduced in Star Wars. He's a bounty hunter / mercenary. You first saw him in the Clone Wars series, the animated series by George Lucas and Dave Filoni. And he became quickly a fan favorite. Since that time, he's got a live action version in the Book of Boba Fett.
Right.
Which I wasn't a fan of the Book of Boba Fett, but it was kind of neat to see a live action CAD Bane. So it was a fan film made of him. And what did you think of that?
I put it right up there with, it's a 10.
Oh, yeah?
9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wasn't super familiar with CAD Bane.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew of him.
Yeah.
And this fan film actually made me start doing more of a deep dive on him and everything.
Cool.
Yeah, and I just, they didn't get the voice perfect. I'm going to still give him my true. Get my true. I mean, he's still got that kind of Western kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And it wasn't just like the animated series. But it was close. The actor, was actually the director as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He did it. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of running away.
No, go for it. This is our YouTube channel.
So, yeah, costuming done by family, makeup done by his family. The starship, the inside of the hull, was actually done in his living room.
Oh yeah.
And his living room was only a 10-foot by 10-foot room, so when they needed to, and the camera was stuck in a fireplace, so when they went to switch to the other wall,
yeah,
they couldn't move the camera, so they had to move all the walls.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh yeah, his daughter did the John walls.
Yeah,
His wife did like the voice of the John walls.
They did a great job.
It was a whole family thing. I mean, there was other people, but I mean, if you get a chance to watch, the reason I know all this stuff is because I went into behind the scenes because, dude, the costume was so good. I had to know how they done the boots. The weaponry was so good. The makeup was so good. Everything was so good, and they done it with little to nothing. And I'm so amazed about the product that they produced.
Right, and like I said, old time Lucasfilm supporting those Star Wars fan films. You just said you didn't know anything about the character,
right?
But then when you watched that fan film, it made you want to do kind of a deep dive into that character.
Right.
So that could lead to you, not saying that it will, but it could lead to you purchasing something to go along with that character or being a fan of Star Wars and that character. And so that's why you should allow fan films to exist.
Exactly.
If they're not making profit and they're helping your bottom line, then why wouldn't you? So the next one is No Man's Land. It's 29 minutes long, come out in 2024. And I always like movies that are a mixture of things. So, you've got Predator, which starts out like an action movie and then ends up to be a horror movie. And Dusk to Dawn starts out to be like a crime drama with Quentin who's the dude from Kentucky, George Clooney.
Yeah.
And then it turns into like some kind of beef vampire flick. So No Man's Land is basically like a World War I movie / aliens movie. So it starts out straight up World War I movie, and then it switches over to they run into an alien.
Right.
And so I like the mixture of genres like that, and so that was really, really cool. What'd you think about it?
I like the way the general kind of described. I like the way the character was introduced. But of course, you did see it. That one of the natives, what was he calling him, the Black Demon or something?
Yeah.
Was coming out at night, and he talked about something that he'd seen when he was little, and so the whole war scene, the costumes, everything, and especially the general badass beard, bro. Good looking beard. I'm a beard man, so I was in it. And until they looked through that stupid little freaking portal, which he eventually supposed to climb through. He couldn't hardly get his face through, but now, and they were supposed to show that what was supposed to be like a buried alien ship.
Yeah.
And when you looked inside, that's when you lost me. You perfectly made the trenches, perfectly made the World War II costumes.
Damn, you're hard.
Hey, no, if you're going to do it, because the alien suits look good.
Yeah.
The action, where they did a lot of flashing.
I'm never going to make a fan film, and if I do, I'll never show it to you.
Well, I'm just being honest. I can tell you the good parts, and I can tell you where they lost me.
Yeah, I liked it, but consider it was like a homegrown thing. I thought they did pretty good. Next one, Uncharted. So Uncharted is a video game series my wife
I am not familiar with
loves.
that.
It's think Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. Think Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, but it's a dude. It's kind of like a modern Indiana Jones type thing.
Yeah.
So think along that line. So Uncharted is a hugely popular video game series, and everybody wanted an Uncharted movie, and they eventually got one, but it sucked.
Yeah, what's the boy's name? The one that plays Spider-Man.
Yeah, what is that dude's name? Tobey Maguire's my Spider-Man, so I can't. This new guy, I can't think of it either.
Tom
something. Yeah. They know. But anyway, so he was in the Uncharted movie, which we're not talking about, but it just sucked. It had Mark Wahlberg in it, and it was really bad.
That they put a kid in the position.
Yeah. So, but everybody wanted Nathan Filoni, that was in Firefly, the dude in Firefly. They wanted him to play the lead character in the Uncharted movie, which they didn't. But somebody made a fan film, put Nathan in it. Nathan did it.
Which is kind of kick-ass to have that
it was great.
But I don't know if he was good for the role.
He was good. Yeah.
I don't know. He's a good actor.
Teresa's a big fan of the game series, so I've seen her play it. I never have played it, but, seen her play the game a little bit, then watching the fan film, it was great. He done a great job, and I had Ernie Rees in it. And he's a martial artist from way back in the 80s. He was one of the original guys inside the turtle suit.
Oh, really?
And he was in Conan the Destroyer as a little bitty Asian kid. And it was so well done, and it amazes me how the action in it was good, the explosions in it was good. It amazes me how sometimes somebody with a little bitty tiny budget can make something better, and I would say.
They had good actors.
Right.
If you and I we're not trained as actors.
No.
And if we were to try to act,
we would suck at it.
We would suck at it.
Yeah.
And so that's what I have a big problem with fan films and stuff. You get these local. You got people that are passionate about acting, but they don't have. But if you're going to sink a budget into all this other stuff, you've got to. Everything's got to equalize. Maybe I'm just being too anal retentive.
No, who would ever say that? Who would ever say that? That's crazy. But anyway, I think you're going to agree with me on the next one, the next fan film,
Okay.
which is Logan the Wolf.
Well, yeah, because I introduced it to you.
You're the one who showed it to me,
Yeah,
so
right.
I would hope that you wouldn't show me crap that you didn't like. You want to talk about it?
All right, so it is, like you said, it's an enigma like the other one, different ages and different genres.
Yes.
This is an enigma. So right now, X-Men is a big thing.
It's gotten popular again because of X-Men 97.
Well, this is like Wolverine X-Men set in Viking age.
Yes.
You know, I'm a big Vikings fan.
Me too.
And so to see Wolverine as a Viking.
Yes, that was cool.
And the fight scenes amongst the rocks.
Oh, it was visceral. Great fight scenes.
Right. And then to see...
Chad Stahelski from John Wick would have been tickled to death. I mean, it was just action on top of action. It was just great fight scenes.
And then the Magneto.
Yes.
Now, I'm still going to poo-poo on it, even
Oh,
though
I
like
know.
it.
I know.
I mean, I'm not pooping on it completely. I'm just saying, if I was going to, there needs to, it's not quite empty. They should have given Magneto white hair.
Yes.
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 And
makes me angry. I'm going to kick him in the groin.
But
was
I try not to be a purist. But I mean, how hard is it?
But I mean, the guy played Wolverine. He didn't have just the chops on the side of his face. He had a full beard. I mean, you kind of got to give a little creative license here.
Okay.
But Logan the Wolf is 12 minutes long. It just come out this year, and so like he said, it's taking the X-Men or taking Wolverine in particular and looking at him like if he was a Viking.
Right.
And you really got to watch that if you're a guy and you have any testosterone in you at all.
Right.
And because yes, it was pretty awesome.
Right.
Pretty awesome. Okay, next fan film. Well, actually, the next fan film, I was done, and you said there was one you wanted to talk about, which I know nothing about. You sent it to me on my phone about 5 minutes ago.
No, okay.
Called Slice of...
I sent it last night. Well,
no, you did.
No. I found it. I pushed share. I never pushed send.
Yeah, you never put send. That's a crazy thing. When you have something on your phone, like a text, and you don't hit send, it doesn't go nowhere. It just stays on your phone.
Okay, well, when you
But
watch
tell me about it.
You're going to be like, oh, crap, we should have had this more.
No, we're having it now. You're going to talk about it. I can't talk
You
about
should
it.
have seen it. Okay, I'm a big Blade Runner fan.
Me too.
Okay, and there is a short film. Well, I say short, 24 minutes. I don't know if that's considered long. When you looked at it and you was like, 24 minutes?
Well, I didn't have time to watch it before we filmed it.
But anyway, it's set in the Blade Runner world. It's
Yes.
not Deckard. It's not any of the characters.
Yeah.
It's just set in that era. And so the music, the lighting, the atmosphere, and of course, went to a deep dive, went and looked at the behind the scenes. This gentleman did not use computer graphics. He literally did it old school like they did in the movie and built each one of those buildings
Oh, yeah, cool.
by hand
Yeah.
and added the smokes and lights and
Miniatures.
stuff.
Yeah, cool.
Right. And so, dude, it was like perfectly spot on. It's not I'm still going to be honest. It's not like the best story. And I kind of was lost with this whole slice of life until the very end.
Yes.
At the very freaking end, it just tied it all together. And I was like, oh. Yeah. So it was freaking awesome.
Yeah, well, I will watch it tonight. I'll cast it up on the big TV.
Yeah, well, I'll watch it with you.
Yeah, okay, cool. We'll do it when we're done. So that kind of ends our fan films, but I want to talk about a couple of fan series. And fan series is where they just don't make 1 half-hour episode or 1 hour-long episode. They make several. And one of my favorite fan series of all time, if it's not my favorite fan series, would be Star Trek Continues.
Yeah, I'm not.
So what they did was they actually built the sets of the old Star Trek. I'm talking the bridge, the engineering room, the sick bay, the hallways. They reconstructed all of that. And so they got the actors. Now, you wouldn't like them because the actors don't look or act exactly like William Shatner or Leonard Nimoy or George Takei.
Okay.
But to me, if they tried to do an imitation, as William Shatner, it would have been cheesier. So they just played it straight.
Oh my!
And but you got the music on there. When it goes off, you know how the Star Trek used to go off and it would have the different scenes and stuff. They get different scenes. I mean, it is so fantastic. They've got 11 episodes. It started in 2013, ended in 2017, and I absolutely love them. What they did was cool was, you know, Star Trek, the original series, ended after the third season. Okay. And then your movie started. Your first movie was Star Trek the Motion Picture. They filled that gap in with those 11 episodes. So through those 11 episodes, it actually ends with them in the uniforms that they used.
Nice.
And they go back and
that had to be expensive.
They actually got one of the actors that played Adonis, one of the gods in the 1960 show.
Oh yeah.
They brought that old man back, and basically without ruining it, saying, you know, he hadn't been worshipped, and so he started to age. You know, and it was the same guy. Lou Ferrigno did a episode of it. I've always been a fan of the Orion slave girls. You know, they're green.
Right.
You know, that always kind of got me going, even as a little boy. That's the reason I'm heterosexual
we
today.
We need to make you one of the dolls to go with your set.
I know. Tell me about it. So they had an episode of Orion slave girls. That was nice. but anyway, it was so good. They talked about Kirk being a womanizer. You know how Kirk, just like every planet they land on, he lands on a woman.
Interact with the people.
Yeah. So it was just so well done. If you're a Star Trek fan, you got to watch those. Rob's not going to like them.
I mean, I'm not a Star Trek fan.
You're not a Star Trek fan. Plus, I don't think you're a fan film fan.
What?
But okay, so for my...
I see the good and bad in everything.
Yes you do. Yes, you do. And you know what? You're entitled to, brother.
Right.
There you go.
I mean, well, I'm just not going to just fall in love
Yes.
with everything.
No, you shouldn't. That would be wrong. That would make you a shill. Okay.
What?
A shill, it's a word for somebody that they get paid to like something. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them on YouTube.
I thought we was going to fight there.
And no, it's shill. SHILL. So Fallout Nuka Break. That's my next favorite fan series. So I'm crazy over the new Fallout series made by Amazon.
Right.
But way before the Fallout series, back in 2011, there was 15 episodes that was put out called Fallout Nuka Break. And they're on YouTube as well. And I think you would like them. Parts of them, anyway.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen them.
And but it's kind of done Dungeons and Dragons style. You know, in Dungeons and Dragons style, you have a fighter and a cleric and a thief and a magic user. So you know
there's a group.
There's a group, and they travel throughout the entire series together, and they've all got their different attributes, and they play off each other. And one's a ghoul. You know, they ended up putting a ghoul in the new Amazon series. And it was just done really, really well. Lots of comedy, some action. And so if you're a fan of the Fallout series, you'll definitely like it.
It's got good setting work.
Yeah. They did.
Makeup,
they you know they went on location to a lot of stuff.
Nice.
So a lot of sci-fi stuff, a lot of stuff out in the desert. And I'm not exactly sure where it was filmed, but they did a great job.
See, that's what I would do. If I was a prop guy, wouldn't be in front of the camera. If I was to do a fan film, I'd be a prop guy. I'd be a set designer, prop guy. I would not be in front of the film.
You would be good at props.
Because I love that stuff.
So that takes care of fan films, fan series. We talked a little bit about fan trailers, and we'll wrap it up with fan edits.
Nope.
So what a fan edit is they take a movie and they slice it up. And so now that's not bad. I'm looking forward in November. There's going to be a fan edit called Blade Runner: The White Dragon edit. Guy in Japan, we talked about that in one of the Geek Speaks. Guy in Japan's taken the 4 different versions that there is of Blade Runner, and he's taken also some deleted scenes and also some scenes that was in the script that they didn't film, and he's putting it all together for like this extended edition type Blade Runner, but he's calling it Blade Runner, the White Dragon edit. Somebody took the old Judge Dredd movie with Sylvester Stallone, the first one, and they were real cheesy in parts, and they edited it. So a lot of times you'll see people, editing can make or break a movie.
I agree.
And so you've got people that they're passionate about editing, so they will upload that movie onto their computer, and they will slice it. Sometimes they will cut scenes out. Sometimes they'll add scenes in. Sometimes they'll rearrange them. Sometimes they will change the music in the background. And so, like, I saw somebody take Revenge of the Sith, and they changed it around the Darth Vader scene to where he's flashing back at Padme being buried, and they showed he changed the music in the background, and it was moving. I mean, you kind of felt it a little bit.
Right.
And so an edit is editing is often underrated.
I watched one the other night. It was it was a re-edit. What was it? It was one of the things we just talked about.
I don't know, old man. You tell me.
I think it was crap.
Don't think about it. We're rolling.
Yeah. Anyway, I agree. Re-editing,
Yes.
can make a movie, break a movie. But this guy, I was watching him, and it seems like a lot of these people that re-edit have this. I could have done this shit better, or this is the way it should have done. And they got big ball attitude. And sometimes when I watch some of those things, they just irritate the hell out of me. But I'm not saying that all of them are bad. I'm just saying you ain't got to be so damn cocky. Well, you jack that shit up. Let me show you how to do it right.
So anyway, I appreciate you watching. If you like our content, you like the banter between two old brothers, please like and subscribe, and stay geeky. And we'll see you in the next one. You done?
I'm done.
All right, we're done.
We're done.
We're done.
I'm done.
We are done.
We're done.
Stick a fork in us. We're done. So Teresa's going to fix barbecue chicken tonight. I don't think you're going to like it. You say, I like it all except for this bone right here.
Free food. I'm not going to complain.